Hello traders and hello everyone. Welcome to a new weekly Forex market analysis where basically I'm going to talk in this video about the US dollar, gold and EURUSD. I'm Hisham Eltaajir and I'm Forex trader since 2012 and Forex mentor since 2020. It is very interesting what happened in the market actually last week, and I would say even in the last 2, 3, 4 weeks. And there is a lot happening on the ground, and here I talk about the war and all this uncertainty which is happening here and there, and how this basically impacting the market. And I will show you on the chart how there is a very big indecision in the market. That's in one hand, and in the other hand, it's very interesting to see what happened in the NFB last week in the non-farm payroll, and how we could see basically US dollar is gaining some strength and moving to the upside. But the question is it basically just correction before another move to the downside or not? And basically I am going to cover this in this video. So just to start with the economic calendar, if we look at this week, so just Monday basically nothing, Tuesday tomorrow almost nothing, Wednesday we have some news on NSD, and then we have the FOMC meeting minutes which is happening on Wednesday, which is very important. Thursday we have some good news on the USD CPI. It's very, very, very important. Friday we have some news on the British pound, Canadian dollar, and then the US dollar. Just to remind you that last week the non-farm payroll was a very positive news, and basically we have seen a big bullish move on US dollar. Now let's move to this chart. So I would say let's start with this chart here, and if we look at it on weekly time frame, it was very important to see what is happening here, especially at this area, guys. So if we look at this red area, it's a very strong area on monthly time frame where price was showing a rejection here since January 2023, and in general even before, price was finding here around some resistance. Price broke above, came almost to retest, but it didn't, and then came here January 2023 to retest, and then here April 2023 to retest, here in July 2023. So as you can see, January and then April 3 months later, and then 3 months later it was July, where price came to liquidate these 2 points, created a big fear that we are going to see a massive move to the downside. But basically it was a liquidity move to collect all the stop losses below here, and then price moved to the upside. And then here price came again in December 2023 to retest again this point and showing support again. And then here, since basically August, we are trading around this zone. One thing to keep in mind that when you see a strong support zone like that, it means that right now we have a lot of stop losses and a lot of liquidity down there, which from my very humble point of view, sooner or later that need to be collected. And actually at this point of time, we can see that right now, let's move to daily time frame. What we see, guys, here, we see that we have this level, which is 102.5, where basically price was showing here support, price broke below, came to retest as a resistance, and then price was just consolidating, as you can see here. And right now price is coming to retest the 102.50 again and showing some rejection on daily time frame. So it's very important to see what is going to happen here at this area. But also if we look at it, and we have this kind of, I would say this range. Okay, let me just put it into the range. Okay, you can see that the price here was showing resistance. Price broke above and didn't come to retest this area as a support. So this is the first, I would say, checkpoint where we will decide basically based on what will happen here if price will continue to the downside or just retest and showing a strong support here, which then might open the door for the price to come to retest the 103.750. Why? Because as we can see here, like with this chart, you can see these levels, which I call psychological levels, and I have a free lesson of how you basically can find these levels on my website. You can just register a free account and watch this lesson. But in general, we can see here support, price broke below, didn't come to retest as resistance. So if the price is going to move to the upside, this zone or this level is the first level where price might come to. And if the price is going to move to the downside, we need to see price when it comes here to retest to break below and then move to the downside. Okay, you need to also keep in mind that with ranges there is usually some fake outs. So that's why, I always say when you see a range and then price break in one side, it's very good to just do like that. Okay, I have it here as a fake out and see what will happen. If the price is going basically to, break below, so in that case, price will not be able to hold here as a support. So if the price will break below, most probably price will come, to retest and then move to the downside. And in that case, if that will happen, so it will confirm that what happened here was a fake out. And then you can take this copy paste, and most of the time you will see this fake out happening similar size to the downside. Okay, and remember that because I will show you on another chart that there is a very big potential for the price to move to the downside. Okay, this is just one thing, guys, to keep in mind. So the deciding factor here is how the price is going to behave around this area. Okay, so this is basically for this chart. Now let's move to this one. I would like to go to this one. So regarding these levels, which you see just like quickly, if the rectangle is red, so it's monthly, let's say zone. If it's yellow, say it's a weekly zone. And if it's green, as you can see, so it's daily. Okay, so when it comes how to find these, let's say, zones, etc., so this is part of the course which I have for the paid members. If you would like to watch it, please just DM and I will tell you more details about it. Anyway, right now, as you can see, I highlighted the high of the last week and the low, and we could see this is a strong bullish engulfing candle. Okay, where basically we have right now this zone here that the price might come to retest and the move to the upside, if any, but we need to see the price action, how it's going to be here, and also this zone here. Okay, that price might come to the downside. And if the price is about to move to the downside, I would love to see if the price will take out the high of previous week first and then move to the downside. That will give me a more assurance that price is going to move to the downside, if any. So if the price is going to move to the downside, I would love to see price to move to the upside to basically liquidate this one. And then from here, that might give a bigger chance for the price to move to the downside. Okay, but also as a checkpoints, we have the opportunity for the price to come down here and then move to the upside. That's scenario number one. Scenario number two, price might come down here and then move to the upside. And this is, guys, what I told you in the other chart, that we have this range here, resistance, 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 price broke above, so price to come to retest this one. And then here, this is a very strong point and very important point to decide. If the price will be holding here, then we will be buying dollar. If the price is going basically from here to close below, so then we will wait for the retest as a resistance, and then I will be looking for opportunity to sell. Okay, so here I give you kind of like three scenarios which I will be looking for when it comes to dollar. And for me, it's very important always to keep an eye on dollar, because it's the most dominating currency in the market. And therefore, based on the movement of dollar, you can predict what will happen in the other currencies in the market. And in general, what you can see here is that down below, we have this yellow and red rectangle, which is monthly and weekly zones. So there is a very, very, very high probability for the price to come down here. It's right now just a matter of time and matter of when. So as you can see here, we have this same scenario, red and yellow. So it's also a matter of time. If the price will go up here first and then move to the downside, or the price will come to the downside and then move to the upside. For us, basically, if price come here, we sell from here to the downside. If the price will come down here, we will be buying from here to the upside. So basically, we know the zones with the community. We're just waiting for the price to come. This is on higher time frame. So here I talk about monthly and weekly, and on daily time frame, as I said, what zones I will be waiting for. Last is basically this one. So as we can see here on daily time frame, we were in this kind of range. Even let's look at it from weekly time frame. Sorry, not range, it's a wedge pattern. Okay, so right now, guys, as you can see, price is coming to retest the back of the broken ascending trend line, and also we have this zone which is yellow, as I said, which is weekly, and right now it's kind of two confluences here, and this is on weekly time frame, so it's quite strong, and we need to see how the price is going to react here. Definitely, if we look at it on daily time frame, you know, on this chart and on the other two charts which I just showed you guys, we can have a better, let's say, understanding of what to, you know, basically look for. But as I said, in general, we have this zone here, and this is basically, you know, the range, and based on what will happen at this point here, you know, based on what will happen at this point here, we will be deciding of what to do next. Now let's move quickly to, you know, gold. If we look at gold, so, you know, you have these levels, psychological levels. Basically on gold, it's every $50. And as you can see, I did talk about that before. You can watch my previous videos on Eltaajir website, or even some on YouTube, that in general, when price find resistance in any of these levels and then break above, most probably the price will come to retest it as a support. But these yellow arrows here, which you can see, it's for levels where price, as you can see, broke above and didn't come to retest as a support. You know, same story here. Price broke above, didn't come to retest. The rest of, let's say, horizontal lines, which I don't indicate and highlight with these yellow arrows, these are levels where basically price broke above and came to retest. So I would say the criteria were checked. But for these ones with yellow arrows, it means that price broke above and didn't come to retest as support, so it is open target for the price to come to retest. As you can see, guys, especially on gold, the price is just here around this area since 25th of September. So the price is just consolidating, and as you can see, there is just a lot of wicks, a lot of tails, and there is a big indecision happening in the market right now. And I believe, based on what will happen between Iran, Palestine, Lebanon, and Israel, we might see a quite strong movement here. But I know that a lot of international banks at the beginning of the year, they were saying, like, you know, they forecast that gold will go up to $2,300. And then a couple of months ago, they basically said that, okay, we change our opinion, our forecast, and it might go up to 2,700. And recently they said it might go up to 2,900. But for me, regardless of what they say, I don't care, and I don't, how to say, follow what they say that much. Because yes, it might go to 2,700, it might go to 2,900, it might go to 2,000 or 3,000, you know. It's only just matter of when, and, you know, always technical analysis. For sure, I will be more into buying gold rather than selling, but I need to wait for the price to come to levels where basically I will be more into buying from, like this level, as I said, which is 2,600, you know. And this is one level where basically I will be looking for, you know, buying from, or 2,250, but this is way, or I would say it's a far target to buy from right now. And also we need to keep in mind the US presidential election, which is happening next month. And based on the result, we might see, you know, big movement on gold to the upside or downside, most probably if Trump is going to win. So we might see gold start moving to the downside unless something will happen with, you know, this war, as I mentioned. In general, if we look here, guys, you know, also one important level, like if we look at it from weekly time frame, these are levels, as you can see. First one, which is here around 2,500 or 2,600 or 2,500, let's say 80. That's one level where basically I would be more like, you know, interested in buying from. But the most important for me is this level here, to be honest. Why? Because here we have weekly and monthly, as you can see, red and yellow. And for me, why not that we might see price moving all the way down to 2,500? Why not? And I know it's quite, how to say, against of, you know, all what we're hearing and seeing, but this is what is always happening in the market, is that the market most of the time create bias to one side and then suddenly price move to the other side. But in general, it's quite interesting, and let's see what will happen. But in general also, like, we have this zone here where basically price might, come to just, quickly to the downside before moving to the upside. But to be honest, right now with what is happening in gold, you always need to follow what is happening with politics as well. But as I said, for me, this is a quite interesting level, and this one here quite a very, very, very interesting level, especially as you can see here, guys. We have red, which is monthly, yellow, which is weekly, and also we have green, which is daily. So this is a very, very strong support area, and it's a very nice area to buy from, I would say, which is between 2500 2530. It's a very, very, very strong area to buy from. And if price is about to break below, maybe I will wait for the retest and then maybe sell, but I will definitely minimize my basically risk for this position. If we look at this one here on monthly time frame, or even let's go to daily time frame, we can see that we are inside a channel, yeah, and it's definitely an uptrend. Here we have first touch, second touch, first touch, second touch. I know that the price broke above a little bit, but then, just came back again, and it's inside this zone. And again, guys, you see here we have just like, a lot of resistance. Price broke above and didn't come to retest as a support so far. And this area, as you can see, it's between 2500 and 2530. Plus, next to this area, we have this, blue trend line, first touch, second touch. So why not for the price to come for the third touch, and from here price to continue move to the upside, if any. So for me, this zone, this area here, is a very, very, very important and very strong because of all the influences which I just mentioned. And even if we just use FIBO, you can see that the 78.6% of FIBO aligns perfectly with this. And we know that gold, GBP, GBY in general likes the 78.6% of FIBO. So, for me, this is a very strong and nice area. Last but not least, when it comes to gold, so if we look at 4 hours time frame, this is just like to show you that right now we have this gray rectangle here, which is a very, very strong support. As you can see, price here like was finding resistance, 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 broke above, came to retest support, 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 support. If the price is about to break below, we need to wait for the retest, and I'm saying that clearly, we need to wait for the retest and then move to the downside. This is our first target here, okay, because we have basically this zone, this low here, which we have for sure a lot of liquidity down below. And then, that might be the first point to look at. And I would say maybe a little bit down here, so this is, just let me put the full scenario. If the price to break below, wait for the retest, from here to sell, price to come here again to this area here, which I'm saying, guys, 2530, to liquidate this point, and then price to move again to the upside, and then price to continue the move to the upside, if any. That might be a scenario which we can look at, especially if we look here. So just very similar, just let me put it that way. It's a very similar to this one up there. Just a minute. Okay, so as you can see, guys, it's very similar to this one. Here we have resistance, 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 resistance. Price broke above, didn't come to retest as a support, and here we have support, support. So I would say if price is about to basically break below this zone here, we might see price coming to just follow this scenario, if any. So it's one thing to keep in mind, and one thing, to be honest, I will be looking at with the community, and for sure I will update them on that one. Okay, now let's move to last, which is EURUSD. I want only to look at this one here. Okay, so if we look at the bigger picture, we are in an uptrend, as you can see. So here we have first touch, here first, second, third. What I want to look at is here, guys. And here there is one of the biggest mistakes which a lot of people basically do in forex trading, and I was doing also at the beginning of my trading journey. So from market structure point of view, here we have higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Did the price make higher high? No. So in that case, this is not a higher low. Okay, so in order to call this a higher low, price must go and create higher high than this one. But basically price didn't make a higher high. So then in that case, from market structure point of view, the last higher high is this one. Okay, this is a very important thing to keep in mind. One of the most common mistakes that forex traders do, and I was doing at the beginning of my journey, that they think like when the price breaks the trend line, it means price broken the trend. But this is a big mistake. We can say that the price broke the trend only if the price broke the market structure. Okay, trend lines are only direction lines or guidelines, nothing more. What is more important is the market structure. Okay, yes, this point was important because we could see some rejection, some support, but from market structure point of view, this point is nothing. The real important point for us is this point here, because this is our last higher low from market structure point of view. So what we can do, we can basically just call it out, do it like this: last higher low on daily time frame. Okay, this is a very important thing. And if the price is going to break below this point here, then we will wait for the retest. And if we could see a nice retest and it's holding as a resistance, then we will be selling. Okay, so if the price is about to break, we'll wait for the retest and then we will be selling. But keep in mind that also sometimes what you will see, that you will see some fake out on daily time frame, price will break below in a strong bearish engulfing candle in that scenario, and second day price will straight away close up, and then from here price basically to continue the move to the upside. So be aware of the liquidation or the fake out moves, especially we are at the last higher low on daily time frame, and this is very important thing to keep in mind. But just to keep in mind one thing, that here we might see the scenario which I am thinking about is that, let me just adjust this one here, okay, just to make it a little bit like that. What I think we might see is that from here maybe price will come that point and then liquidate and then come that way and then move to the upside. That also depends on what will happen on USD, on the dollar. So it's very important to always keep an eye on what is happening on the DXY, DXY or US dollar, and then we can decide what will be our next move. Okay, but just be aware of that. In general, today is Monday, the first Monday after the non-farm payroll. I don't trade at all. I just need to give some time for the market to digest and adjust to the news, and then starting from tomorrow and most probably even from Wednesday, I will be looking of what is happening here. Okay, one thing also to keep in mind is this one here. Okay, so this is my psychological levels. As I said, there is a free lesson which you can watch on Eltaajir website of how you can basically draw these levels. And one thing, guys, which I'm saying here, that you see when basically price here was showing resistance, broke above, came to retest here as a support, was some fake out, and then price broke above again, came to retest as support, and now price broke below. If the price is about to continue to the downside and after breaking below the last higher low which I showed in the other chart, it will be good to see if the price will come here to basically retest and show strong rejection here as a resistance, and then we might have an opportunity to sell. But what I will be looking for together with the community is, maybe what I will be looking for is try to sell somewhere from here, okay, and then let's say for the price to come maybe to liquidate, and then from here I will be trying to buy and hedging. Okay, so I will be selling from here. Okay, let's put it that way. I will be selling from here somewhere. I need to see on lower time frame together with the community to sell from here, and then when the price will be coming here, I will close 50% of the position profit. I will move stop loss to break even, and then from here I will be buying and hedging. Okay, if this is continue to move, so this position here is going to be closed on stop loss, but I'm earning on this move more and more. And if this position here to the upside is going to basically work, so then I will be collecting profit from here, and I already from this sell position, I already, just let me put it that way, if that will be sell. Okay, it's very, if that will be like that. Okay, so if the sell position, if the buy position is going to, sorry guys, just like to put it to be very clear to you. Okay, so as I said, I will be selling from here, and then when the price will be reaching this point, I will close 50% and move stop loss to break even, and from here I will be buying and hedging. And if the price is to move to the upside, so then I will be earning on this position. This selling one, it will be closing at break even, and most probably if the price is going to move, guys, from here to the upside, so rest assured that the price will be going to move, and most probably to create a higher high. This is very, very important, and it's one of the highest risk reward, because we are basically not buying from here, from this trend line, but buying from the market structure point of view. And also when you see points like this, this rejection here, rest assured also that there is a lot of liquidity above here, where most probably price will come to basically, collect all these stop losses above here, which in that case might be the opportunity in this buy, So this is one thing basically which we can look at. So yeah, that's all guys for this one. Unfortunately, it's again long one, but I hope that it's useful to you. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you guys. Cheers.